Coach, big week this week. OTA starting. What's sort of this part of the calendar? What excites you most about this part of the calendar?
Yeah, I think obviously this week is our first opportunity for the Phase 3 element of our off-season program, and so it's a great opportunity to get out there on the field. The guys will be in helmets. Obviously, you're still in teaching phase, but it's another step.
I'm sorry, I got to ask you one question. Are you a golfer? Like, is this like, are you going to putt, are you going to hit, or is this kind of just a social event?
I'm probably more on the social side than the actual successful golfing side of it, but it's still fun to come out here and spend time with these guys.
Cedric was just talking about being reunited with you. How excited are you to reunite with him? And I mean, he talked about the opportunities that kind of you gave him in Dallas. What do you like about working with him?
Yeah, Ced's awesome. Obviously fortunate to be with him for a number of years in Dallas. He had a tremendous 2021 his last year there. He just played phenomenal for us and had a chance to go to Miami. Excited to be back with him. Obviously, he can do a lot of things. He's a really smart player, and that's always been his thing. He's got a great feel for the game and does a great job catching contested catches.
Do you feel like it's kind of the camaraderie part of it? I mean, we don't see that, but like even events like this kind of become ingrained a little bit more with what you all are building.
So much of the off-season program is a lot of that. I mean, we were there for 4 hours a day and with the players, and so there's a lot more time for these guys, and they spend a lot of time around each other, and so it's all building. It's all a lot of fun for these guys, and they enjoy it.
Sorry, go ahead.
As OTAs approaches, what are your goals kind of for the first set of the practices?
I think we're still in the teaching phase, so we're still introducing the systems on all three phases, and so you spend a lot of time teaching and getting these guys moving around and kind of focus on the fundamentals and the the techniques of this thing. And so most of the true competitive physical stuff won't happen until training camp, but this is a nice big step.
Drew, we talked to you on the weekend, and I mean, obviously you came into the league when he was already established
Yep.
in the league. Just your relationship with him, he always talked about you were known as kind of like a smart guy and a winner in college. Did you have a relationship with him? Has he talked to you much since you took the job here?
Yeah. Drew and I have exchanged a few text messages here and there as we've kind of gone through this process. But when I was a player in Detroit, Joe Lombardi came up as our offensive coordinator. So we spent that whole offseason watching Drew and spent a lot of time, kind of understanding that system at the time. And so, always respected and loved Drew from afar, and feel like he's a perfect person as far as what we want to emulate here moving forward.
Back to OTAs this week with this transition for you. What does it look like for you in prep?
Yeah, I think we're there. Obviously, I think from a coaching staff perspective, we spent a lot of time building up to this stage, and so now it's kind of an opportunity to just get out there and coach and spend more time on the field than in the classroom, which is ultimately what we all want to do.
How big of an opportunity is this for when it comes to a couple QBs trying to win a job? What's the most they can gain out of this process in trying to do that?
I think it's going to be a lot on the process and less on the results as you go through this phase, just because, again, there's not much competitiveness. We will do some 7-on-7, but, a lot of it's just their understanding. They're taking the classroom to the field for the first time. And so, most of the decision-making factors obviously will come in training camp and preseason football, but this is certainly a nice little step for them.
You added
as a coach, do you have something you enjoy more? Like, do you like standing in front of the classroom and seeing it click, or are you just excited that you have more time to actually see it click on the field now?
Ultimately, the field's where the results matter most, and so you're always excited to be back out there, and I think our guys are as well.
You've added another quarterback since we talked to you last. What did you see out of him?
Yeah. Hunter did an excellent job during our rookie mini camp. We talked about him through the draft process. He obviously has a unique story, a unique experience. Felt like he has some tremendous ability. He's a great kid, and we're excited to work with him.
Between working with Dak, Herbert, Jalen, big name QBs, what have you taken from learning? What have you learned from those guys, from those experiences that you can apply? Because those guys obviously a lot of success in this league. What can you take from your experiences with them and apply to these younger guys just trying to break through?
Yeah, I think all three quarterbacks are different. I think that's the one thing you recognize is all these quarterbacks are going to come from different experiences, different exposures, different play styles. And so, I'm excited just to spend time more and more on the field with these guys just to get a feel for them. And, we feel like we got a really good group, a really exciting group. It's a young group, but it'll be a lot of fun.
I know the schedule came out last week. It's the first time in like 25 years. There's no primetime games. Do you almost kind of relish that or use that maybe as fuel to say, great, we'll work kind of in the shadows and surprise people?
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing to acknowledge for our players. And so obviously they're excited to, take advantage of the opportunity and see how it takes us. And so, we'll be fine.
The NFL is expected to vote on a proposal with the Lions, proposed by them to reseed in the playoffs, based on record alone. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Obviously, it came up in the last league meetings, and we voted against it. And so, obviously, there's a lot of factors with that, but that was our mode there.
How's the participation been through like the first two phases? And do you expect to see everyone on the field whenever the practice part starts?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, it's a voluntary phase, and so certainly there's guys that have different circumstances in their life, and we certainly understand that. But I feel like guys have been here a ton of it, and they've really been participating, been engaged. It's been a really good process.
If you do elect not to bring in a veteran or established QB, how does that work? I mean, I know you were a player. Is there any concern that some veterans will question how urgent the commitment is to winning, and can it affect their? How do you handle that? Whether they're worried about being part of a rebuilding or a bridge year or transition year.
Are you asking from a veteran quarterback's perspective? Or
no, well, I'm asking from the whole roster perspective.
Oh, from the whole roster.
For the real seasoned veterans on the roster who maybe feel like they're running out of chances to win.
Yeah, from a veteran quarterback perspective, I'm trying to think. In Dallas, we had a young roster, young quarterback room the whole time. I think LA was really young. Easton Stick was our backup. In Philly, obviously, it was Jalen, but it was Kenny and Tanner. And so we've had a few, Andy Dalton was our backup in Dallas one year. And so certainly there's times where if the opportunity presents itself and you feel like it's a really good fit, we'd love to do it. But, we feel like we got some good guys here. They can, certainly mentor each other at the same time going through this process. I feel like our quarterback room has some experience there in the sense that myself, Doug Nussmeier, Scott Tolzien, we've all, been around this for a while from a player's and a coach's perspective, and Scott Lenahan, been a coordinator and a head coach in this league for a long time. So, we do feel like we got a good room there, but obviously we're always looking to upgrade our roster as we go, and so, it may happen.
And then can you explain the need also to see exactly what you've got in the young guys that you have confidence in, and how maybe not bringing in a veteran too soon helps you understand where their development is going and what rate it's going at?
We'll see how this whole thing progresses. Obviously, the roster is a very moving, dynamic thing throughout the whole offseason process. And so right now we feel great. We feel like we've got some young guys. We're excited to just get them on the field and participate. And again, it'll mostly be 7-on-7. That'll be the only thing that, is full speed. That's just the way this thing's structured now in off-season programs. And so we'll give those guys a bunch of opportunities. It'll be exciting to see them get out there, learn, grow, make good plays, miss a few. And, that's all about this whole process is about.
And I remember you referencing Dak. Yeah, I remember you referencing Dak when you were still a player. And it sounded like you were saying, just because we have a lot of young and experienced guys, don't assume that one of them won't have a great year and that we won't win. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Well, I think every quarterback goes through this journey differently, and so I think it's all about opportunities and presenting themselves. And certainly Dak, all three quarterbacks that I've been around, Dak was the one that was young when I was with him. I was still a player at the time, but he hopped in there. He was a fourth-round pick and hopped in there and played great. And certainly there's a lot of different quarterbacks through the history of this game that have done it in similar fashions. And so we feel like we've got some young guys who are ready to roll.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.